Alan, so much for coming on and doing this show for me. It's great that you're going to help educate us and hopefully inspire others to just, you know, remember that they're human beings and that they matter in life. So, so let's talk about where you're from.
I was born in the States. I first off wanted to thank you for having me on the show. This really means a lot to me, Stephanie.
Oh,
Um, just being able to share my story and educate others and hopefully inspire others to get on the right path. So I was born in the States, but I was raised around Kingston area.
mhm.
Um, I never really saw myself moving out of Kingston until I found Ottawa. So yeah.
Oh, it's strange that you say you're from the States. I'm from the States too. I'm from Orlando. I was born in Orlando, but I've been in Toronto 35 years. So where are you from? Where are you from?
I was
Do you
born in
mind me asking?
Vermont.
Oh, Vermont. Oh,
Yes, yes.
that's right there. That's like right there. Okay. So let's talk about your family. Now that you say that you're from Vermont and you're and Ottawa's your home now. Now, where's your family?
So I'm adopted as well. So
Mhm.
my biological family is still in the States. We talk as much as we can, with long distance and everything. My adopted family is here in Ontario, just about an hour north of Kingston. So we talk every so often. Um,
Okay.
it wasn't a smooth start to, a relationship, especially after coming out. But I've definitely grown into the man that they want me, that I want to be, and to show them, like, and I had to actually tell them at one point, look at me as your son, because at the end of the day, I'm not just your gay son, I'm your son.
Okay. Now, how long have you been out?
Since I was 17, so
Okay.
2006.
Oh, so you've been out a while. Oh, okay. Now, let's talk about, do you have any step brothers and sisters?
I have, so there was five of us all together. One has since passed on, but I have an older adoptive sister, a twin brother, and my little sister adopted as well.
Okay. Now, let's get into the addiction. I want to lay the story out for everybody, but we're here today about the addiction problem that you had. Now, I want to talk first and foremost. She told me to ask this question first. When did you first start smoking or shooting up or whatever the addiction became?
Um, so I was introduced to marijuana and alcohol around 17. When I was getting harassed and bullied in high school from a small town I was in, I would go home and drink all day. However, the crystal meth came into my life at 28 years old, so 2017.
Now, the reason I'm asking this is because I want to understand the root of it. So, who introduced you to marijuana? Who? Your friends, people at
Um,
school?
friends,
Okay.
friends introduced me to marijuana and alcohol. As far as the crystal meth goes, I met the wrong guy. Thought he was, all rainbows and butterflies, and until
Mhm.
he started showing his true colors.
Okay. Now, you said that you come home every day and just start drinking. People don't become alcoholics overnight. Alcohol is different than, I would say, crystal meth or cocaine. Weed is just something different all itself. My brother used to smoke weed, and I don't think he was addicted to it, but he was always smoking it, so maybe he was. But how did you become were you an alcoholic first or a drug user first?
Definitely alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I remember getting alcohol poisoning when I was just 17 years old. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess, that's when the addiction really started with, and what it really started with was the alcohol.
Okay, why? Well, the reason I want to know why. Why did you start drinking? Did you start drinking sociably, or did you just start drinking by yourself, or did you watch your parents drink, or was it because you were adopted?
It started out, but then it progressed into, it really started heavily drinking because of the and what I was going through in high school.
Okay. Now, what was your first high like? What was it like the first time you smoked crystal meth with this boy that you say that you liked and you hung out with? What was the high like that made you want to do it again?
Um, it was thrilling. It was exciting. It was something new. When you get a new toy, you're all excited to use it. You're all excited to play with it.
Mhm.
And you just want that moment to last forever.
Mhm. So you didn't ask the guy when you were smoking this crystal meth, is this addictive? Or you were just going along with it because he was cute and you were hot in the moment?
I um I asked him, what am I going to feel like? And he said, you're going to feel drunk, but you're not drunk. And maybe me experiencing drunkenness before, I figured, okay, well, nothing could, what could happen? Unfortunately, the addiction took hold the first puff.
Okay, so when let's go back to when you first did your first puff of crystal meth, which was which was the second addiction because you were already addicted to alcohol. You had already tried weed,
Yeah.
and now you were dabbling into a world that you really didn't know,
Mhm.
which was something more heavier, like these are chemicals. So when did you really know you were addicted to crystal?
Um, it didn't hit me until I was about 29, 30 years old. It didn't hit me at first. I was crawling around on my bedroom floor on all fours looking for any crumb I could find. And that's when it hit me. And it's like, shit, I'm an addict.
Mhm. So now that you know that you are an addict, you've dabbled in pot, you've you drank a lot, and now you're addicted to this substance that you're crawling around on the floor looking for, or hallucinating, thinking that there's something there, um, or trying to find something that you think you maybe dropped. Now, when did you have you ever done anything really? You don't have to say what it is, but really something against every fiber in your body to get high.
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I'm an open book.
Mhm.
I was basically exchanging sex for the drugs.
I mean, that's nothing new. I've heard that from lots of the girls. A lot of the trans women do that for, for exchange of sex for drugs, and women are notorious for that kind of thing. So, I mean, something that's just something that you're ashamed of. I mean, are you ashamed of the fact that you had sex with men for drugs?
Yeah, I am. Just because that's not who I am. You know,
Okay.
I was, I was raised in a Christian household. So, I was raised on religious beliefs and values and, core beliefs. And that went against everything I believed in.
Okay, so let's just say you were having a night of just as much crystal as you wanted, and you were in a room with the most beautiful man or a group of men, because I know sometimes that gay men will go to the spa and they will do these kind of things. Um, and they have these group sex parties with these people. Did you feel like when you were doing these things that it was fun? Because if you continue to do it, meaning that you like the high, meaning that you liked the boys or the company you were around, and you didn't ever think about your safety. Number one, because when you're ingesting something, whether I'm going to a party and we're drinking alcohol, if I, let's just say I'm in Mexico and people make these homemade brews and all these things, first thing I would ask is, what am I drinking? You never thought about to yourself, you're now in a room full of men who all have different grains of crystal, or you thought it was all the same thing and that it would not harm you.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was all the same thing. I didn't realize, that I didn't think anything would happen to me until my overdose happened.
Okay. Now, when you overdosed, were you in the house with other people? How did they find you?
I was alone.
Oh my God.
Pardon?
Well, how did they
Um,
find you?
I Narcan myself because I knew something was wrong, and then I called 911 for myself.
Mm. Now, I've heard many times um, from watching a lot of the people tell their confessions about how they felt that the dealer or the person they were with were trying to kill them with mixing these different chemicals, and giving them something different, keeping the real stuff for themselves and giving you the fake stuff because you're the one, either the one with the money, or they know how to use you to get the money to get more of the stuff. Have you ever
Yeah,
felt like that?
I've definitely been with a using friend of mine, and we would be smoking rock salt because it
Mm.
looked a lot like crystal meth. So now in the winter, that is a huge trigger of mine, and that is something that I will always live with, because I'll always look down to the ground and see the rock salt and think, is that salt or is that crystal? Like, what is this? So
Hmm. Now, I want to ask this question because I think it's really important. Relationship. I mean, I understand when people are doing drugs of any kind, it's just for the moment and it's for, them getting high and having fun or whatever, that sort of immediate um, gratification is. But now, you as a gay man, you couldn't go out every night looking to just smoke crystal and have sex. Did you have a job? Did you have a job that you were responsible to be up every day for?
I had various jobs through my active addiction, which I lost every single one of them because I wouldn't go in high or even coming down. There was no way in hell that I would allow somebody else to see me like that.
Okay. Now, during what was the I want to ask this question because she put a big question mark here. Um, what was the lowest point besides the overdose? What was the lowest point to where Alan Scott thought, I'm not going to make it? I'm not going to survive this.
Um, I can't really recall one other than my overdose.
Mm. Because the reason I'm asking this as well is because you would think after a while of doing this here and feeling weird and all these uncertainties, because now you've had this overdose, you've had bad crystal, now thinking, is this crystal or is this crack cocaine or what is this that I'm smoking, Epsom salt or whatever it was, some kind of salt you said.
Yeah, yeah.
um, you would have all these, this would build up some kind of an anxiety, I would think.
Um, yeah. I mean, the scariest moment for me was realizing that my overdose did not scare me away from it. That was
Mm.
that was the scariest point in my active addiction, was saying I do not have control of this anymore. I am totally out of control with this. I'm unmanaging. My life is completely unmanageable. but I can't stop.
So you were chasing the high.
Yes, I was.
Hmm. Now, have you ever been in a situation to where, not just for the overdose, have you ever been in a situation to where you're either buying crystal or you're going looking for crystal that you felt your life was in danger?
Um, yeah, I mean, like I was on my way to a using friend of mine one day, and in the back of a taxi, I was already high, and the cops pull us over, and they thought I didn't have my seatbelt on, but I did. So they asked me to, remove my mask, remove my sunglasses, and you know, I I tried to hide it, but I don't know how well I did. um,
Hmm.
but yeah, that was like, oh shit, like I'm gonna get caught, and I've never been in trouble with the law before, ever.
Hmm. That's amazing. I want to just say this, Alan. You seem like an amazing young man with a good shoulder on your head, and I'm not just saying that. It's just that I generally have a very good um, sense about people. In a sense, I understand because I'm being gay and being a performer in drag and being around the community for as long as I have. I have worked with some of the most people that are professional addicts. That's what I call them, professional addicts. They can operate and they're so high, they can operate like normal and you would never know. I would know because I've been around them a long time and I can spot it. So, but since it never um, bothered me because I never in my life have done drugs. I've never smoked cigarettes. Most people don't believe that because I've been all around this world and I've been in every dressing room with every queen that snorted everything from angel dust to the dust on the floor. And it just never interests me. Now, I've been to Ottawa and I know Ottawa is some parts of it is horrible. So and mainly down at that Rideau Center and all of that bus station stuff there is they need to fix that. But I am glad to see that you are making some progress in changing the way your life is. I mean, you're alive, so that gives you another day to get it right. And to remember that, you know what? I tell people this all the time. They don't care when you're dead. They don't care. So make it count while you're alive. You matter. Crystal meth don't matter. The next hot boy don't matter. I used to think, oh, I had to have all the hot boys. I had to do. I'm at the age now, it don't even matter. I don't want nobody in my house unless I want you there. And you can't come to my house with bad intentions, smoking and drinking and all this kind of stuff. I mean, if you want to just, have a little fun, then that's different because that's not an addiction thing that you can't put outside your door. Now, let's talk about your friends. Did anybody, I mean, I'm sure you've talked to many addiction counselors and went to many of the group meetings that they have, and you've probably been in and out of rehab a few times. Now, what is the part of the addiction you can't seem to get past? You're having the hardest time with?
Um,
Is
the
it
triggers,
using or
the triggers.
searching? Trigger?
Yeah. I definitely have, like, there's, like, when I was in Serenity House, actually, just my past rehab that I graduated from. I went to a Saint Laurent Mall here in Ottawa, and I went into the bathroom, smelled something really funky, and I'm thinking this doesn't, this is weird. Um, and while I was washing my hands, the guy next to me is loading up a meth pipe. I said, "Not today. I'm not doing this. I cannot afford to do this right now." You know, it's a matter of having a roof over my head or being out on the streets right now. And
Mhm.
I know what it's like to be technically homeless. I know what it's like to, you know, to be kicked out of your house, not for using or anything, but for other reasons. It's
Mhm.
scary because if you don't have a place to go, you're battling the elements, whether that's heat this time of year, whether that's blizzard, whether it's, anything, people stealing from you, and um I see people homeless here in Ottawa, and I feel my heart breaks for them. It really does. Um, and I've been open with people driving by them. I'm like, I was almost there. I was
Mhm.
almost in their shoes, you know?
The good thing about all that, Ottawa is a prime example downtown of the homeless problem and the drug problem that they really have there. And I'm very surprised that they haven't fixed that long time ago because it's so visible. And all those kids hanging out in that McDonald's there and stuff like that there, that is terrible. But I've been performing in Ottawa for over 25 years, so I've seen it all there. And I know all the girls and all even the ones that have passed on, a lot of them. Um, and around the world, I've been around a lot of these people from boost cans to late night parties and seen people doing very destructive things and stuff that I never said anything. You shouldn't do this or do that because I don't want to be in no brawl with a lot of people telling them what to do. I just did my thing, drinking and just was social. But I got to see a lot. The good thing about all of this, Alan, at the end of the day, is that you're alive. And I'm glad me and you are friends because I think we're going to become closer down the road. And you're a positive role model. And I see you pushing through. Trust me, I had to push through. I had to push through all of the noise on both sides of me before I started doing this show. And I say this all the time, if it wasn't for the celebrity that just kept pushing me, I would not be doing this right now. But I turned off all the noise and I started seeing what he was trying to show me. So you understand that you're a young man, you have your whole life in front of you, and there's so much more for us to do.
I
And with
just,
the,
I just want others to know that recovery is possible. I hit my actually today. I hit my newest milestone, 135 days. Um,
Mhm.
my longest ever is 9 months, and that 9 months, I simply walked away from it. I walked away from the relationship. I walked away from my home. I walked away from everything I had and said, no more, I'm done. Unfortunately, I wasn't done. But like it's hard. Yes, it's next level hard, but
Mhm.
it is possible, and you just have to put your willpower in front of you and say, no, I got this, I can do this, and I want to do this.
Mhm.
Sobriety has given me a whole new life. Like
Mhm.
it's given me new friends, new a better relationship with my family, you know dates, potential jobs, everything that I wouldn't have if I was still using.
Well, it's the good thing that you're putting one foot in front of the other, one step by step. That's what I always say. And the fact that you say that the programs are working, that is a very good thing. That means that the people in these programs care about your recovery, making sure that you recover to have a better quality of life. Because when you're on the outside of something, you can see very clearly. And it's easy for us to say, well, you should do this and you should do that. No, it's better to walk through it together. And it's good that you have these step programs that help us, no matter what the addiction is, whether it's sex addiction, drinking, alcohol, mental illness, step by step, we can all get there. And we're all suffering from something. So I want to just say thank you for tuning in today and giving us a little bit of your story and a little bit of your life. And I didn't want to dig too deep because it's your story to tell to your family and your friends and to people that you really care about. And it's my job here for us to just educate other people out there that they're not alone.
And if there is anybody out there struggling, trying to escape this disease, please reach out. Please reach out to somebody you know, somebody you trust. Whether it's me, whether it's a family member, a friend, reach out to somebody because you are worth it. You are totally worth living. We are all here for a reason. And I believe my reason is to help people. So that's why I wanted to come on and share a little bit of my story, because I believe I'm here to help people.
Wonderful. You know, thank you, Alan, so much. I want to say this in closing. Don't go back. It's not worth it. Look at you now. Look at you now. This is the Alan I want to remember, the one I want to hang out with, the one we can go out and carry on and see the world and do stuff. So just remember, Stephanie said that. This is the Alan I want to remember, the happy Alan, the one that's doing his thing now. And to our audience out there, thank you guys so much for listening to his story. It's very inspiring, very touching. I didn't want to do too much because I was about to cry there for just a minute. So and we don't want to ruin my mascara. And I want to say to you, Alan, thank you so much tuning in from Ottawa to give us a little bit of a history on addiction and recovery and the fact that he's found a new friend in us here at Pronoun TV and the Stephanie Stevens Show. And I'm blessed to have met him. And you're a handsome man, so lots of the boys will be looking for you, I'm sure. So until next time, my friend,
Thank you
take
for having
care.
me.
Now, what was the name of the recovery place that helped you in Ottawa?
Serenity House.
Serenity House. Thank you, Serenity House, for helping Mr. Aan Scott. So, Alan, thank you, sir. And we
Thank
will
you.
chat again. And I will talk to you soon, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.